republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to see people here again. Call the meeting to order. Anything to change on the agenda?
Not for me.
If not, need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Second, sorry.
Approve the minutes of May 20th.
Reading through them from last week, they appear correct, nothing to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Claims.
I didn't know you still worked on our level here.
No, not much. Like a bad drug, I can't quit.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
Yeah.
All right, for claims, I had 781,696.83, 781,696.83, and if I had the drainage correct, I had 1127.50.
That's what I got. I'll second that. Okay.
Okay. Any discussion on
The guy in the corner must be
One of them was a new maintainer.
them? Now we know.
a little paint, yellow paint, the way it looked.
What was that one we got the email on?
Oh, you're right. That's a good job.
One we got an email on a deal committee.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but
Zonings.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. General public concerns. Here for the public. If not, moving on. Ben, you're up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got something over?
Do something real quick, Dave. Just, wanted to voice, from the school district's concern, I know you guys have a work session to discuss the SRO position. You know, today, I don't think anybody here can argue or, that our biggest concern is protecting the students. Hands down. I don't think anybody feels any differently about that. You know, today with the school choice options, there's something I'd like everyone to take into consideration, you know, today. We're basically part of our job is attracting students and families to the community. Parents are looking at that today saying, where am I gonna send my kids that's safe? Unfortunately, the situation with, you know, the police department just wasn't working out, you know, as far as that goes. That's where Mr. Murray obviously spoke up and had discussions at the county level to figure out what we could do with this. And I feel very strongly, I guess, I would implore you guys to just really deeply consider this, because I think we've got a wonderful working relationship with the sheriff's department. And have it, you know, attract people here. I mean, we keep talking about that with lots of different projects and stuff, but at the school level, that's one of the major concerns people look at is the school district and the safety that's at the school district. And I know the school is ready to, you know, partner with the county if at all possible. So I would, you know, from the entire board's perspective, I would just ask that you guys seriously consider this and see if we can make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Are you gonna stick around for the work session?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? No, Ben.
Morning.
Morning. You roads open back up, or we, the water going down far enough that?
Quite a few of our roads have opened back up. We left barricades up at Murray Bridge because the water was still close to the road and it was soft where we had pulled the material back in. Left the barricades up over on Arizona northwest of Bradgate for the same thing. We've also got, Xenia closed south of Jerry Haverly's brother's old shop. What is that? That's between 120th
20th
and
and
130th.
Yeah,
Um,
but that road was pretty tough shape, the water, where the water was going over it.
yeah, but it held up pretty well,
Yeah,
considering that we pulled shoulders in last fall
Good.
and regraded that stretch. Prairie Creek's coming back down though, so hopefully we'll have that all open back up here today or tomorrow.
Just remind people that the barricades are there, they're still, don't go around.
Well, the barricades are there, but they got some graffiti put on them over the weekend.
Where they would,
Some teenagers with spray paint sprayed our flashing beacons and the road closed to through traffic signs, so.
be a group of elderly people out riding around again.
But yeah, we'll swap them out and try and get them back to the shop and see what we can do to try and get the spray paint off. So,
The other remind people that are there for their safety.
and it's also their tax dollars that are paying for it.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Or mom and dad.
it's mom and
Yeah,
dad.
Mom
and
dad.
Yeah, I'd say it's not the kids, it's mom and dad's tax money paying for it.
Might have been mom and dad paint.
Yeah. That's true too.
How about over at Murray Bridge? Is that one closed?
The barricades are still up. The west branch has gone down.
Yeah, it has a lot.
But, like I said, the material that we pulled in here a week and a half ago and put it back up on the road was still soft,
wet.
so we left the barricades out. I mean, the locals are still gonna drive across it. We're not gonna try and stop anybody. It's safe, it's just soft. Beyond that, we're supposed to start milling by the railroad tracks just west of Renwick this morning. I don't know if the rain's gonna prevent them from starting, but we should be beginning today.
Where are they gonna pile that
Yeah, I
on?
was wondering that.
The elevators, so they,
Okay.
as far as I know, they don't have a buyer for it yet. They were negotiating back and forth with Blacktop Service and Fort Dodge Asphalt. But for right now, they've talked to the elevator at Hardy, Renwick and Thor, and their plan is to stockpile it there.
Okay.
It's supposed to stop raining in 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. The first three items that I've got on the agenda are to approve 3 pay vouchers for this paving project. This is for project STPS parent 85 is a payment of $16,975. For project FM 86, it's $12,125. And for the local LFM 87, it's $19,400. Basically, it's 50% of the construction survey that's been completed. And design has been submitted for 2 of the 3. We've got approved designs for the Renwick Blacktop and the local down by Thor. We should have in our email today, the project from Hardy South. So
Okay.
What's the time frame been on that? Do they,
for the whole construction and everything,
no, just the milling that, if they get started.
milling for each stretch of it should go relatively quick. 2 weeks.
But then it'll sit, right?
And then, well, the plan is they'll mill everything on the Renwick stretch and then jump down to Hardy and the paving crew
We'll move up there.
will start moving in. We haven't had the mobile plant hasn't moved in yet. We signed moving permits on Friday, so my guess is we'll see those move in this week. And then they'll have to do
Putting that at the elevator also, are they, or where are they putting that?
They'll put that at Hodges Quarry.
Oh, okay,
And then they have to do a maturity curve to find out when they get strength on concrete. Usually it's somewhere between 2.5 to 4 days. Um, But they'll pour those beams and start that testing. And then move their paving machine and everything in. You'll start seeing a lot more activity here in the next week or so. Yeah.
and advise the parents to tell their kids, don't drive around the signs and drive across the concrete,
Yes.
because that has happened. Yeah, or they think, oh, it looks good, drive across and they sink in, leave cracks.
We've had that a couple times, yes.
Yeah, their signs are up for a reason.
So vouchers one for, is it Kroll?
Yes.
Everything, that's all
Looks like everything.
good to you?
Everything is good for me. For the work that they've done.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept those three.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion?
All the way through this project, there'll be, all these three projects will always be paid separately, obviously.
They'll be paid separately. The STP and the farm to market projects will both be paid through state vouchers. The local is the only one that you'll actually see come through claims.
Okay.
So,
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
All those carried.
the next item that I have on the agenda is to approve an application to work in the county's right of way from Midland Power on 210th Street, east of Humboldt. This is to change an overhead line to underground at 2715 210th Street.
everything looks good. I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
All carried.
The next item on the agenda is to approve a funding agreement for project STVG dash, it's a very long project number.
That's a very
Um,
long one.
This is the box culvert on 250th Street as you're heading east out of Thor by the lagoons. We applied for state funding on behalf of the town of Thor, and we were approved up to $170,000 in state money for this replacement. This is the funding agreement between us, the city, and the state. Forward this on to the city of Thor. 2 weeks ago, I just missed their town meeting that they do at the beginning of the month, so the plan is for them to approve it next week.
you think it'll get let pretty quick then?
Right now I'm targeting a September 17th letting. We finally got clearance from the Army Corps last week, so that's kind of why all this got
Okay,
put on the agenda.
But are you thinking the fall or next spring?
It's probably gonna be next spring. I mean, guessing the DOT's process, I mean, with us letting it basically the end of September
Yeah.
for them to get contracts and everything turned around. It'll be probably June construction, late start date.
And this is just us blowing the money, right?
Yeah, so we become the flow through on this.
paperwork and,
Yep, which we had proposed that to the state, if they were willing to give us the money for this project. We had
Right.
said that we would do the survey, the design and the inspection during construction. And then the added one is we'll fund it through our farm to market program and then get reimbursed.
Then we're reimbursed, right?
So-
All right, good.
Well, if all is all well and good, which it appears it is, I'm making a motion that we approve that funding agreement, that long numbered project.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All carried.
Spot for you and Trish on that one. And then the last item that I have on the agenda is to approve the plans and specifications for the same project. I believe I sent these cover sheets of the project to you all.
Yeah, I'll make motion for the sign and effects for that same door box.
I'll
on
second
Main
that.
Street.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
There'll be 3 copies of that. You guys to
That'll
sign.
be more work too.
Yeah, great. Beyond that, we're plugging away. Hardy's done hauling rock. Bode's got a day and a half left. Humboldt said that they've got, I think they got 5 days left. The plan after that is to change gears, come over here to Dakota City and start building the pad for the building. Try and green light a second round of rock here before the end of the fiscal year. Usually I try and get all of my blade operators another 3 miles. So we'll try and get that through as well before the end of the year.
There's a lot of rock on the plains too.
Yeah, about 50,000 if I
Yeah.
remember right,
Mhm.
so. Yeah, unfortunately, that's only
Go ahead.
about 8% of our budget for rock that we spend a year, so. And we spend about 550,000 a year is what we're spending on rock right now.
Is it because prices have gone up so much?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, I went and bought some rock here not too long ago, and wow, I was a shocker. And
So
it's
our-
gone up.
Yeah, our price, I mean.
I know you pay a
rack-
lot less than we do.
Rack price is like $22-23 a
So
ton.
that's over $20 a ton.
And I mean, for us, for county, because the amount that we haul, we get a significant discount, but it's still over $10 a ton
Yeah.
for us. So,
We use some millings anywhere. Instead of rock. Would it be cheaper to take
Possibly.
some of that?
the way the plans are listed is the contractor gets those millings. Yeah, because we didn't have a location for them. The stockpile, we've got a stockpile at the old landfill from one of our previous paving projects. The problem with it that you would get is the inconsistency of any kind of gradation. You get large chunks in there.
That worked good to build that shoulder on the Bulverding Hill, so it doesn't wash out on stone.
Possibly. I mean, it's gonna cut wherever, you know, right now
I
it's
didn't know if it
cutting.
hold better than what's out there, because I notice every time it rains, Mike's out there fixing it.
Mhm. We can try it. I mean, we had the same issue. As you were coming down the hill from Dakota City down to Gotch Park Road. And we paved that shoulder and all it did was just change where it cuts. I
Yeah,
know
it
once
cuts
it
out a
cuts,
little further.
yeah, it doesn't cut next to the road. It cuts
But it's-
3 feet further over.
Mhm.
So the problem that you run into is you've got more slope going down the hill than you do coming off the road.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cut wherever your pavement stops.
I went over to Eagle Grove, Saturday and I went on the out of town there, where all your exploration on that, going underneath the road.
Are you talking south of Thor?
Yeah,
Okay.
did you ever get anything on that? My question is if they run concrete through them, does that road have to be closed so that stuff can cure, or how that stuff's deep enough that it won't?
So for those, we're waiting on the water to be low enough for us to inspect the last pipe before he gives us an estimate. The liner itself is actually like a poly resin that's reinforced. And they've pushed this liner through, or they run this liner through, inflate it with air, and then they run UV light through it, and it hardens and cures within 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So we can do it during open traffic. And then
Yeah,
we'll
we can
have,
do it after they pave.
yeah, we'll do it after they pave and they're done and out of there.
Okay,
Cause we gotta dig up, are we gonna have to dig up the west ditch again, or they just do it all? from the-
Yep. So what we did on the west side was Band-Aid everything
Oh,
back shut.
okay.
So we'll end up digging those
That'll be
back
later,
up.
so-
Do that in August when we're done, right?
The plan is they wanna, try and submit a quote to us and do it at the same time that they're doing Webster and Hamilton. That way we pay a less amount for mobilization.
mobile.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So.
Well,
But
there's
yeah,
lots of
as soon
sticks
as-
out there where they've been digging and. I was just curious.
Yeah, as soon as I get a quote from them, I'll give it to you guys.
Perfect.
Anything else for me?
Anybody got anything?
Nope.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Thank you.
Moving on down. Was the 9th annual Iowa 99 County Bible reading. They come and sit out here and read for 24 hours on the lawn. I think they do it right out beside here.
Yeah, I think we usually provide them with the outlets, they can run the fans, they don't get too hot, so.
Never had any issues. I'd make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Approve drainage levies and set waivers for 2024.
Do you want to go into drainage?
And I'll make a motion to go into drainage.
Second. Favor,
Aye.
opposed, carried. Morning.
Morning. Have we moved into drainage and everything?
Yep.
Okay.
We're in drainage.
Okay, so I have,
Rick and Eric made that motion.
okay. Okay, so I have the levies for 24. And I'm gonna start with it's the long sheet that has all the levies on it. Which those seem okay.
This is the entirety of what's being levied, I mean, all, this is it.
This is everything, yep,
This is the list.
Yep.
Okay,
this
well,
is
that's it.
everything.
That's being levied.
District 11 sub 3.
Yeah. And then we have District 7 sub 2. District 1-010 Humboldt Webster. And then District 102. District 118. District 121. District 33. District 011 BRA. 026 lateral A. 033 lateral B. 003-009 sub B, and that would be Humboldt Webster. And then 119 lateral 1. And 049-059 BRA Humboldt Webster. Any questions?
Okay, so when this money comes in, then I'll pay off some warrants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I levied for enough to be in there.
So we have a little cushion. to
Yeah.
come up.
Yep,
Which is
Yep.
Good.
yep.
Alright,
And a little cushion, the one is for $478 and we got levying for 2,000, so it's about a $1,500 cushion, so the next time something happens, it can be fixed.
Yep, yep.
They just about clean up everything. I mean, I granted, and we agree, I believe, from past experience, that keeping the levies current is good.
Yes, the only thing that I did include was DD 80 because of project with that.
Right, that's
so-
not even started.
No,
Okay.
no, so I didn't,
Otherwise, it's pretty well,
yeah,
cleans up any
should
outstanding.
be,
That's awesome. Yeah.
that's good to hear.
yeah. And I did notice it's not as. We're just catching up, so it's not as previous years.
Right,
Mhm.
never
So-
ran into that 2
Yeah.
years ago, and that caused
Yeah.
a lot of issues.
We got a lot of calls on that one.
Yeah, well, when they're 10, 12 years old, it's hard
Yeah.
to remember why they're getting a bill.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
well, anything else? Is this?
This is it for that. And then I have the Webster City joint drainage district that she had sent me. Looks
Webster
like
County.
Webster, I'm sorry.
Gonna say, if we're with Webster
I'm
City,
like.
I wanna know where that, where it's at.
This is where they're controlling interest.
Yep.
And then we have to pay, the county pays them. This is a total from Webster County.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Which doesn't look like a huge amount.
No,
Mm-mm.
Okay, any other of these, joint districts showing?
it looks like we do have right.
Is that one?
It's gonna be one of the short papers. The drainage district levies will have Webster and Wright on there.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
The 8,023.
Yeah, so those are just our joint districts on there.
Okay,
That's the one over there by 17 that crosses into Creekville. Chicken flies.
okay, I know it's easier to go to approve the drainage levies and set waivers.
Yes.
And the waiver is anytime it's over $500.
Mhm. So I do have the eligible spreads.
Yeah, we.
I printed out.
Mhm. And, I think it's mandatory that we do that, give them the option. But I think a 10-year waiver would be God's plan, because none of.
10-year?
None of these are very large.
Okay,
There's only a couple farmers here that are gonna get hit.
Yeah,
yeah, it didn't look like it was that bad.
Mhm. And Couple I see on there, they like tile, so,
They'll probably pay it immediately.
yeah. All right,
So you're proposing 10?
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the levies and set the waiver for 10 years.
I'll second Rick's motion.
I would agree with that. There's anything too
Yeah, no.
huge, so 10 years would be,
That gives them the option.
yeah.
Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
All right,
Opposed? Carried.
thanks for getting this done in a timely manner, and so it can get set out and we keep things very current.
Yeah, hopefully all goes well.
Are we getting any more, action with any repairs since it's raining a little more?
I really haven't had that many, Jacob Westergaard for DD 80 did send out letters to the landowners regarding the construction. So, I got a copy of that, and then, the only other thing this month was that Nave had reported ponding in section 21 of Corinth, but that's all I've had.
Did you get the one for JD Myers fixed?
Yes,
Cole was working on that.
Yep,
He takes a lot of pictures.
yes. So,
Make sure he took pictures, so it was our tile.
yep,
Couldn't hardly read out there where it was at, so.
yep, he does a good job.
No, I think our contractors have stepped up a little bit. They've been doing a good job taking photos and calling me in before they do the projects. So things are going smoothly.
It's very smooth.
Mhm.
Well, most of the dredge ditches are, levels are going down, so hopefully that'll. And it's hard to believe with the rain that we've had the other day, the ponding was there in the morning and the next day it was down, so the tiles are running, so. And they're the farmers are the highest ones.
Yep.
They're the ones that see the suck hole, so. I guess they'll report them.
Which I was kind of shocked with all the rain we haven't had more reports, but.
Yeah, well, like I say, I think the guys have really stepped up lately, and getting stuff caught up.
Well, it's wet all the way. When I come back from Michael's, it was wet everywhere, all the way, ponds everywhere.
All right. Nothing
Anything
else.
else and for you, for us, and drainage?
Nope, that's all I had.
I would make a motion to go out of drainage.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
guys.
Kelly. Thank
Okay, thank you.
Looks like we're down to committee. Wait till Trish gets back.
Okay.
That's a bad.
I just think, I just texted him.
That one hits the bottom.
I saw Corey's truck was out here and then about the time Dean's phone went off, Corey took off too. So, and then the fire trucks were. So I don't know what's going on.
that time of day.
What's that?
Are we doing painting?
I believe so.
Yeah, we're ready to start.
Yeah,
All right.
it is about 10 minutes. Okay, thanks. Bye. All right, and Wednesday, the 22nd, I had a decategorization board meeting that afternoon at Hamilton County Courthouse in Webster City. And it was my only official extra meeting last week.
I didn't have any meetings. I did Thursday. I went out, took a little walk behind skid loader tracks and went out, filled badger bowls at a couple of the Norway Township cemeteries. Well, some there, I've been out there and looked at them and somebody's gonna break a leg in them, you know, somebody's walking around, so I don't know. Filled holes. Amazing how much dirt they take.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's all I done.
I had a meeting, a finance meeting on Tuesday, which I didn't get called in because I was in a crappy location, so I didn't get that, but I'm going to the meeting tonight in Emmitsburg for Udmo. And then Friday, I went down to Eldora for the juvenile detention meeting. Oh my God, we started at 10 and I left at 5 to 3, so yeah, it was a long. Argumentative, lots of. People talking about I mean, we have some issues that they've been trying to hash out, and for those of you on the email chain, it's been interesting, but hopefully they got most of it figured out and we can move forward. But like I said, tonight I had that meeting up in Udmo, and they did tell us that they are advertising for our position down here, which is good for us, and then they will hopefully keep, knock on wood, they'll keep the food pantry hours at 4 days, and they just have to get it filled with the correct person. So that was a meeting that came out of our meeting with
Right.
Melissa O'Connor. So
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
we thank Julie and the Udmo staff, and hopefully we can get somebody. I asked, why don't they talk to some of those people that are the volunteers that have been there for a while, and see if any of them would be interested to
Oh, in the position.
take that position.
Yeah,
So she was gonna talk
Yeah.
with Alyssa. We have too many Alyssas. The Alyssa in Fort
Yeah.
Dodge was
I
gonna talk with
know.
Alyssa in Humboldt,
Humboldt. I know I get the same thing.
but hopefully that position will be filled, and they can carry on with our food distribution in town,
Yep, that
which seems to be moving in a rapid pace, so.
Right,
How many people sit in down there at Eldora when you have your meetings?
Well, we just took 3 new counties. So now we have,
Just a rough idea.
well, I'm guessing there was 35 there. There was 20, about a dozen on
So,
Zoom.
wow.
So, yeah, they just took Grundy. Grundy and Fayette and Jones just were added to the cluster of, I think there's getting close to 40.
Do they have room for all that?
Oh, yeah, they just put
just have.
$7 million addition
Oh,
onto
that's right,
the,
I forgot about that, yeah, that's right.
onto the facility.
Which is.
And you know,
sad
the
because that means
crazy
we got
thing
that
is
many kids.
this thing sits right, if
Right
you know
next to
where the high school is,
Yeah,
on the corner of town, sits right across the street from the high school, so.
probably don't have too many kids from Eldora in there though.
No,
So you can
probably
look out
not.
the window and see where the next
Mhm.
step
Yeah.
is.
Got that one that shot the little girl, I suppose he got sued and got released to his parents or whatever.
Yeah.
12-year-old kid.
Yeah,
It's crazy though. I mean, you look at the sheet and what they're holding down there for
Mhm.
the ages and the
Crimes,
amount of
yeah.
time. So
right.
sad.
Too many issues with kids right now, and there's so much mental health problems and.
Right.
That's Hoover High School in Des Moines said they're gonna not allow kids to have cell phones on or during the day. And there was some study here said when we started seeing this big surge in mental health issue with kids. Started in 2012 when we started getting the iPhones and the Android where you could get all these apps and stuff and let them have in schools.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Did a thing on the, I think it was NBC News where. This girl, they took a picture of her prom picture and they took her head off and they attached it to a nude. And then all these kids are
Yeah.
sending them out, and it's an app that you can get on your phone. It's like, why did they even have apps like that? I mean,
Yep.
it's just, yes.
You go back to the old flip phone where they can call mom and dad, and that's all they
Yeah,
need to call.
yeah. Well, they're giving phones out, I think, at a way too young age. I mean, you see kids in first, second. third grade. I'm like,
Just the grandparents and those coming out, right?
yeah, I know. It is the grandparents. Oh, man. Okay, so on the 21st, I Zoomed the meeting for the Humboldt County Opioid and Alcohol Coalition down there or up here. We're getting all of I attended a training, and so we're trying to get our plans in place and what we need to do and for the events here in town and how we can do it to help make sure that the appropriate age is drinking, consuming, whether it be at the fairgrounds or whether it be downtown. Try to use the wristbands that we've got a grant through the Alcohol Foundation for adults that we can get free wristbands so that if we do have like a open thing on the, you know, like Hawkeye Days or
Mhm.
Cyhawk, sorry. You can see I'm real sports minded, sorry. But anyway, you know, so that everybody knows that they're drinking the appropriate, who should be, and trying to get people to be aware of what an actual drink is and not to be, there's a lot of, Humboldt and Webster, we're like third or fourth in the state for alcohol consumption, and that's how we got this grant. So, yeah, and there's a lot of binge drinking and things like that, so that's
Which is
something.
kind of surprising because we've got an older population, huh?
But ever since
It's not like
COVID,
a college town.
no, but COVID really just did a lot of things to a lot of different people. I mean, I hate to say you blame things on COVID, but it's the truth. I mean, COVID just, yeah. Okay, so enough on that. So then on the 22nd, I also did a 2-hour Zoom on House File 2673, the impact on counties for mental health. The states, you know, basically taking over, they're gonna privatize, which all of us as county people do not want it. The regions have done a good job, but Heather Garcia seems to think that we all just are awful and there's not gonna be any, there won't be any county supervisors on any. We might be on an advisory board, but that's about it. So you think if they thought mental health was bad, and I hate to be, but look at where Medicaid is right now. They did the same thing to Medicaid, was that 10, 15 years ago? I think it was. Now it's gonna be the same thing with mental health, so it's really scary. Again, I keep saying that we've got to get after our legislators, because if the rural red legislators would have got together on this and voted against it, this never would have went through. But everybody is afraid to vote for what's best for their area because they're so worried about getting reelected. And that is sad. So people need to start listening to their constituents, and if they're not, then we need to get people to run against them that will listen to their constituents. And that's my soapbox for the day, and I'm done.
Okay.
So you're running for state rep, saying?
The only thing I had was Region 5 hazmat on Wednesday, the 22nd. I didn't get to it. I called Kyle, he's the alternate, and he went to it, so.
I've already been told.
Everything working out with that new, it's not really new anymore, their truck that they purchased and
The rescue van or the,
Yeah.
The one they-
Truck.
Oh,
they're keeping it busy. It's on the road all the time.
that's no wonder.
how many counties use, use
9 counties.
9, okay.
And the railroad don't want us to go to any of their spillage or anything like that. They'll take care of his own,
Yeah, of course.
but we're first responders to it, so.
Mhm.
What happens when it runs out of the railroads right away? It's on our
And
property.
it's ours.
Mhm.
That's the county's.
Do they?
Yeah, I got a call Saturday, I think it was, that they all kinds of equipment parked in counties right away over in the both territory of Pine Avenue between Livermore and Hardy on the tracks where they had an issue. So
Hmm.
basically what we were told is their hours had run out for the day,
So they just shut them
so
off.
they just shut them off wherever they're at. That's how they work.
Oh, that's the
I suppose
railroad.
we could
Oh, my.
have it towed somewhere.
Well, the sheriff's department wanted to know if we would set barricades out for some of the stuff that was sitting on the road, and my only question for him was, if somebody gets in an accident after we set barricades out, are we now liable?
Mhm.
Where prior to that, it's the railroad's responsibility. Yeah. Fisher thought that it was probably a good idea to just stay away.
Well, if they're coming out Eagle Grove,
I'm not sure where.
well, I'm assuming that they would be out of Eagle Grove. really don't think that they're that far that they couldn't have at least taken it into Livermore. Somewhere and parked it somewhere where up by the elevator that, as opposed to yeah.
But that's what they do. They got them shuttle buses going and when their hour is up or their time is up, wherever that train's at, the engineer or whoever, they park it right there and they shuttle the next one in.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else? You got anything for us? Nope. Okay. Anything else according to come from the board?
You're planning on moving the flags tomorrow night, being it's rain.
Go tomorrow night pending rain.
Matt, could you, and I'll send that to Coach, so that the football kids know.
Pending the rain, we let them dry on the pole because we don't have a place to put them to dry.
Mhm.
They sent me a text the other night, they were pretty excited, they did put them all up in 23 minutes, that's their fastest. I said, well, the last time we had a record, we had a kid with
Stitches.
stitches across his nose that he walked into the wrong area and the flag pole swung around and hit him in the nose, so. But they got him up in 23 minutes.
They done good and all hundreds up.
Yep, I saw it, it looks beautiful.
All the hundreds.
Really
Flag
nice.
Really looks
Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
We're thinking of when the fall, when the ground gets firmed up good, coming from the flagpole up here and Ving out to that last one. And we'll probably take some of these off this side to
Till you do that.
put it down, so it kind of ease into the flagpole and then it comes out, so
That'll look nice.
it will, so.